Ever feel like life's chaos is drowning your purpose, leaving you stuck in a haze of distractions and doubts? You're not alone. We've all been there, grappling with days that slip away without meaning. But what if you could transform every moment into a step toward a stronger, wiser you? In this video, we're diving into 8 Stoic journaling practices, from the evening review to the mortality reminder, that cut through the noise, forge unshakable clarity, and align your life with virtue. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius and modern titans like Serena Williams, these tools are your blueprint to conquer the chaos and live with relentless purpose. Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's your battle cry for growth. Grab a notebook, hit subscribe, and join our tribe of Stoic warriors. Let's forge your future one reflection at a time. The Stoics Tribunal, Evening Review for Unyielding Growth. The Evening Review is the Stoics' courtroom, where each day's actions are summoned to trial, judged not with shame but with a relentless hunger for improvement. It's not about dwelling on failures but holding them to the light, as Marcus Aurelius did, who wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." In the whirlwind of modern life, where screens flash and deadlines claw, this means carving out a sacred moment each night to interrogate your choices, strip away illusions, and forge a path toward virtue. But how do you stand before your own judgment without faltering? And what do other philosophies reveal about this fierce introspection? Imagine the day's end, your mind a tapestry of triumphs and tangles. You sit with your journal, pen poised, and ask, "What did I master? Where did I stray?" You record a moment of courage, leading a tough meeting, but also a lapse like procrastinating on a critical email. With stoic precision, you resolve to tackle it first tomorrow. This is the evening review, a sculptor's mallet, chiseling away excess to reveal your true form. As Denzel Washington says, "You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for." Stoic reflection is that work, hammering your day into deliberate progress. Now broaden the scope. Compare Stoicism's rigorous self-examination to Buddhism's mindfulness, where awareness observes thoughts without judgment. Stoicism cross-examines your actions to cultivate discipline. Buddhism watches them drift like clouds, seeking liberation from attachment. One's a prosecutor seeking truth, the other a monk embracing impermanence. So, what sharpens your soul, dissection or detachment? And what risks come with staring too deeply into your flaws? Or picture General Dwight D. Eisenhower orchestrating D-Day with unwavering focus. Plans are worthless, but planning is everything. The evening review is that planning, reflecting on a day's rushed report to prioritize preparation tomorrow, ensuring your efforts align with purpose. Contrast this with existentialism, where Sartre's radical freedom might reject such structure, urging you to redefine yourself with each choice, unbound by past reflection. Stoicism builds a fortress of virtue. Sartre ignites a wildfire of possibility. Which pulse drives you, order or reinvention? And how do you judge a day that defies control? Try this Stoic practice, the Twilight Tribunal. Each night, dedicate 6 minutes to journaling. Ask, what did I do well? What derailed me? What's one action to refine? Write a concrete goal, like silencing notifications during work. Journal the clarity it brings. This isn't mere habit, it's a revolution against mediocrity. As Oprah Winfrey says, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. The evening review is your attitude, forging a bolder you with every question. Now, pivot to Confucianism, where self-reflection perfects your role in society, harmonizing personal conduct with communal duty. Stoicism's review is more solitary, demanding you face your virtue alone, even if it isolates you. Imagine Epictetus and Confucius at a council table. One probes his soul for lapses, the other seeks balance with others' expectations. Whose judgment calls you? And what's the cost when self-scrutiny drowns out the world? Let's paint a scene. You're a navigator, your day a stormy sea. The evening review is your sextant, plotting your course by the stars of your actions. Successes like a completed project, missteps like an impulsive argument. Compare this to pragmatism, where Dewey's reflection tests outcomes through experience, not moral ideals. Stoicism navigates by virtue's constellation, pragmatism by results' horizon. Ask, do you chart your day for your soul's truth or its practical yield? And can one compass guide both? Here's the stark truth, reflection is a gauntlet. It's not easy to admit you wasted time or acted against your values, but Stoics embrace this fire. Seneca, amidst Rome's treachery, reviewed his days to master his responses, finding freedom in accountability. Contrast this with hedonism, where reflection might linger on pleasure's fleeting glow, ignoring growth. Stoicism demands you face the storm. Hedonism dances in its rain. Which crucible tempers you, rigor or revelry? And how do you stand when the mirror reveals cracks? This is your summons. Tonight, practice the Stoic ledger. Journal for 5 minutes asking, what advanced my purpose? What held me back? What's my next step? Set one goal like prioritizing a key task and note the resolve it ignites. That's Stoicism, alive in your reckoning. As LeBron James says, you have to be able to accept failure to get better. The evening review is your acceptance, transforming each day into a stepping stone to mastery. What verdict will you render tonight? The Stoic scales, virtue check for uncompromising integrity. The virtue check is the Stoic's balance beam, where every action is weighed against the timeless ideals of courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. It's not a gentle pat on the back but a rigorous audit of your soul, demanding you live as the person you aspire to be. Epictetus, the freed slave turned philosopher, declared, "You become what you give your attention to." In the relentless churn of modern life, where stress frays patience and distractions erode focus, this means pausing to journal, holding your choices to the fire of virtue to ensure they burn true. But how do you measure your heart without flinching? And what do other philosophies teach us about this unyielding quest? Imagine a heated moment at work. You lash out at a teammate over a missed deadline. Later in your journal you confront the act. Was that just? Did it show temperance? The answer stings, no, it was neither. With Stoic resolve, you vow to breathe deeply and listen tomorrow. This is the virtue check, a cartographer's tool, mapping your life to the peaks of principle. As Dwayne Johnson says, it's not about perfection, it's about effort. Stoic journaling is that effort, aligning your every step with the compass of virtue. Now widen the horizon. Compare Stoicism's inward virtue audit to Hinduism's Dharma, where righteous action upholds cosmic order. Stoicism weighs your deeds against personal ideals. Dharma binds them to universal duty. One's a solitary scale, balancing your soul, the other a tapestry weaving you into existence. So what anchors your virtue, your own heart or a greater design? And what trembles when your ideals clash with the world's demands? Or take General Ulysses S. Grant, whose steely resolve won the Civil War. In every battle, there comes a time when both sides consider themselves beaten. Then he who continues the attack wins. The virtue check is that persistence, assessing a day's courage, say speaking up in a meeting, and planning to bolster justice tomorrow by mentoring a struggling colleague. Contrast this with Nietzsche's will to power, where virtue might fuel domination, not moral balance. Stoicism calibrates your integrity, Nietzsche ignites your ambition. Which force shapes your actions, restraint or conquest? And how do you weigh a day that demands both? Try this Stoic practice, the scales of virtue. Once a week, journal for 12 minutes. List courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance, rating your actions from 1 to 10 for each. Ask, where did I soar? Where did I stumble? Plan one specific action like practicing patience in conflict, to lift a weaker virtue. Journal the shift it sparks. This isn't a checklist, it's a forge, as Angela Duckworth says. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out. The virtue check is your grit, crafting a life of principle with every score. Now shift to Aristotelianism, where virtue lies in the golden mean, balancing extremes like rashness and cowardice. Stoicism's virtue check is fiercer, demanding absolute fidelity to ideals, even if it isolates you. Imagine Seneca and Aristotle at a crossroads. One judges his day by uncompromising standards, the other seeks moderation, blending virtue with practicality. Whose scales tip your balance? And what's the cost when purity outshines harmony? Let's conjure a scene. You're a sentinel atop a tower, your life a vast plain below. The virtue check is your telescope scanning your actions, helping a stranger, ignoring a slight, for alignment with courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. Compare this to utilitarianism, where actions are weighed by their benefit to the greatest number, like prioritizing team goals. Stoicism guards your soul's truth. Utilitarianism serves the collective's gain. Ask, do you measure your virtue for yourself or the world? And can one lens focus both? Here's the raw truth. Virtue isn't soft, it's a blade. It demands you face moments of cowardice or impulsiveness, not to wallow but to sharpen. The Stoics lived this edge. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire, journaled to hold his temperance steady amidst chaos. Contrast this with hedonism, where actions chase pleasure, not principle, ignoring justice for fleeting highs. Stoicism hones your character. Hedonism indulges your whims. Which blade cuts deeper, duty or desire? And how do you wield it when temptation beckons? This is your charge. This week, practice the Stoic ledger. Journal for 10 minutes, rating your virtues and asking, where did I embody my ideals? Where did I falter? Plan one action like speaking truth in a tough moment, and note the strength it builds. That's Stoicism, alive in your accountability. As Serena Williams says, every champion was once a contender who refused to give up. The virtue check is your contender's heart, making every reflection a testament to your integrity. What virtue will you strengthen next? The Stoics' bastion, negative visualization for ironclad resolve. Negative visualization is the Stoics' fortress, a mental stronghold built by staring down life's potential tempests before they strike. It's not about drowning in dread but arming your mind with Seneca's premeditatio malorum, the practice of imagining setbacks to forge unshakable calm. As he wrote, there is nothing so wretched or foolish as to anticipate misfortunes. In the high-stakes chaos of modern life, where plans teeter and crises loom, this means journaling worst-case scenarios to strip fear of its power and sharpen your focus. But how do you face the shadows of failure without losing your fire? And what do other philosophies reveal about this audacious strategy? Imagine a critical client pitch on the horizon, nerves jangling like loose chains. In your journal, you confront the chaos. What if my slides crash? What if they grill me? You map solutions, save files offline, rehearse tough questions, and walk into the room not fearless but fortified. This is negative visualization, a blacksmith's hammer, forging resilience from the raw iron of doubt. As Beyoncé commands, I'm not here to play, I'm here to slay. Stoic foresight slays panic, turning every what-if into a battle plan. Now stretch the perspective. Compare Stoicism's proactive visualization to Buddhism's doctrine of non-attachment, where suffering is eased by releasing desire for outcomes. Stoicism braces for the worst to strengthen your grip. Buddhism lets go to float above the storm. One's a warrior's shield, deflecting blows, the other a monk's robe, untouched by the fray. So, what steadies your heart, preparing for impact or rising beyond it? And what fractures when you cling too tightly to control? Or picture General Douglas MacArthur rebuilding Japan amidst post-war ruin. We are not retreating, we are advancing in another direction. Negative visualization is that advance, journaling a potential project delay to plan extra research or a fallback strategy, ensuring you move forward no matter the obstacle. Contrast this with Nietzsche's Amor Fati, where you'd embrace every failure as a vibrant thread in your destiny's tapestry, not a threat to counter. Stoicism fortifies your defenses. Nietzsche dances with the chaos. Which spark ignites you, readiness or revelry? And how do you stand when the ground shakes? Try this Stoic practice, the Iron Bastion. Before a high-stakes task, journal for 4 minutes. List 3 potential setbacks and 1 practical counter for each. Ask, what's in my power? How can I stay steady? Journal the confidence it builds. This isn't gloom, it's a gladiator's training. As Denzel Washington says, you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too. Negative visualization is your mud, forging a mind that thrives in any storm. Now, pivot to pragmatism, where Dewey's experiential learning tests solutions in real time, not through mental rehearsal. Stoicism's visualization preempts failure with disciplined foresight. Pragmatism adapts through trial, unbound by moral anchors. Imagine Epictetus and Dewey facing a tech glitch. One journals a workaround in advance, the other experiments on the fly. Whose armor fits you? And what's the cost when preparation meets the unpredictable? Let's conjure a scene. You're a watchman on a cliff, your work a city below. Negative visualization is your beacon, scanning for threats, missed deadlines, tough critics, and readying defenses like extra prep or a calm mindset. Compare this to existentialism, where Sartre casts setbacks as absurd tests of your freedom, not to be foreseen but confronted in raw defiance. Stoicism builds ramparts, Sartre storms the void. Ask, do you guard your city or thrive in its siege? And can one watchman do both? Here's the unflinching truth, visualization isn't weakness, it's defiance. It's choosing to face the specter of failure head-on, not to cower but to conquer. The Stoics mastered this. Marcus Aurelius, burdened by empire, journaled crises to act with precision, not panic. Contrast this with hedonism, where you dodge dark thoughts, chasing pleasure's fleeting glow. Stoicism sharpens your spear, hedonism basks in sunlight. Which pulse drives your work, resolve or escape? And how do you face the dark without blinking? This is your mission. Before your next big moment, practice the Stoic Vanguard. Journal for 3 minutes, listing 2 risks and 1 solution each. Ask, how can I stay grounded? What's mine to shape? Act on your plan and journal the strength it brings. That's Stoicism, alive in your foresight. As LeBron James says, I like criticism. It makes you strong. Negative visualization is your strength, armoring your productivity against life's ambushes. What storm will you disarm next? The Stoic's Hearth, gratitude anchor for unshakable contentment. The gratitude anchor is the Stoic's glowing hearth, a sanctuary where the day's struggles are transformed into gifts that warm the soul. It's not about ignoring life's thorns but embracing them as fuel for growth, as Seneca taught. There is no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with. In the relentless grind of modern life, where emails flood and stress gnaws, this means journaling moments of thankfulness to shift your gaze from scarcity to richness, grounding you in purpose. But how do you find gratitude when the day feels like a battlefield? And what do other philosophies reveal about this radiant practice? Imagine a brutal workday, a project stalls and exhaustion creeps in. You open your journal and write, I'm grateful for the chance to problem solve, for my colleagues' encouragement. The fog lifts and your work becomes a canvas for virtue. This is the gratitude anchor, a lighthouse piercing the storm, illuminating what truly matters. As Dwayne Johnson says, it's not about where you start, but the direction you're going. Stoic gratitude sets your direction, fueling resilience with every thankful word. Now broaden the vista. Compare Stoicism's grounded gratitude to Taoism's Wu Wei, where acceptance flows effortlessly with life's current, not pausing to thank it. Stoicism cherishes the moment for its lessons. Taoism glides through it, unattached to its gifts. One's a hearth, warming your spirit, the other a breeze, cooling your desires. So, what kindles your gratitude, active appreciation or serene surrender? And what dims when you lean too far into either? Or take General William T. Sherman marching through Georgia's scars. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. The gratitude anchor is that voice, journaling thanks for a tough meeting navigated with poise, sparking resolve to collaborate better tomorrow. Contrast this with Nietzsche's Will to Power, where gratitude might fuel ambition, thanking life's challenges for the chance to dominate. Stoicism nurtures humility, Nietzsche exalts triumph. Which gratitude drives you, quiet strength or blazing conquest? And how do you thank a day that breaks you? Try this Stoic practice, the hearth's glow. Each evening, journal for 5 minutes about one moment you're thankful for, perhaps a skill honed or a moment of connection. Ask, how did this shape me? Does it reflect my purpose? Write the warmth it brings. This isn't sentimentality, it's a revolt against bitterness. As Angela Duckworth says, passion for your work is a little bit of discovery, followed by a lot of development. Gratitude is your development, anchoring your Stoic heart in abundance. Now shift to Confucianism, where gratitude honors social bonds, like thanking a team for collective success. Stoicism's gratitude is more inward, celebrating personal growth even in solitude. Imagine Seneca and Confucius at a feast. One thanks the meal for its lesson in temperance, the other for the harmony of shared effort. Whose table feeds you? And what's the cost when gratitude for self overshadows others? Let's paint a scene. You're a gardener, your day a fertile plot. The gratitude anchor is your harvest, gathering moments, a solved problem, a kind gesture, to plant seeds of purpose. Compare this to utilitarianism, where gratitude weighs actions by their societal impact, like a project's benefit to others. Stoicism cultivates your soul's garden. Utilitarianism feeds the village. Ask, do you thank your day for your growth or the world's gain? And can one harvest nourish both? Here's the fierce truth. Gratitude is a defiance, not a comfort. It's choosing to see wealth in a grueling day, spitting in the face of despair. The Stoics lived this rebellion. Epictetus, once enslaved, found joy in his freedom to choose gratitude, turning hardship into treasure. Contrast this with existentialism, where Sartre's gratitude might be a bold act of creating meaning in a void, not thanking what's given. Stoicism roots you in reality's gifts. Sartre dares you to invent them. Which gratitude anchors you, presence or creation? And how do you hold both when the soil feels barren? This is your summons. Tonight, practice the Stoic beacon. Journal for 4 minutes about one work moment you're thankful for, asking, how did this enrich my path? Does it align with my values? Act on it, like expressing thanks to a colleague, and journal the light it casts. That's Stoicism, alive in your reverence. As Oprah Winfrey says, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is to celebrate. The gratitude anchor is your celebration, transforming every day into a step toward a virtuous life. What gift will you harvest tonight? The Stoic's rudder, control filter for steadfast navigation. The control filter is the Stoic's rudder, steering your mind through life's tempests by anchoring it to what you can command: your actions, your mindset, your resolve. It's not about wrestling the universe into submission but mastering your own ship. As Epictetus proclaimed, you have power over your mind, not outside events. In the turbulent seas of modern life, where deadlines crash and others' whims buffet you, this means journaling to sift what's yours from the chaos, freeing you to act with laser-like clarity. But how do you hold the helm steady when the world storms rage? And what do other philosophies reveal about this disciplined focus? Picture a project spiraling out of control. A client's silence stalls progress and frustration surges. In your journal you write, "I can't force their reply, but I can perfect my draft and prepare my pitch." You release the noise and pour energy into what's yours, sailing forward unshaken. This is the control filter, a cartographer's compass, charting only the terrain you can shape. As Kobe Bryant said, "Everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for me to rise." Stoic journaling is your rise, harnessing control to fuel purposeful action. Now expand the horizon. Compare Stoicism's sharp focus on agency to Taoism's Wu Wei, where effortless flow embraces life's currents without grasping for control. Stoicism seizes what's yours to steer with precision. Taoism drifts with the tide, trusting its path. One's a captain's steady hand, the other a leaf on the stream. So what guides your work, commanding your course or yielding to the flow? And what snaps when you cling too tightly to the wheel? Or take General Ulysses S. Grant, whose cold precision turned the Civil War's tide. The art of war is simple enough. Find out where your enemy is. Get at him as soon as you can. The control filter is that simplicity, journaling to focus on a report you can refine, ignoring a colleague's delay you can't fix, ensuring your energy strikes true. Contrast this with Nietzsche's will to power, where you might wrestle every obstacle, even the uncontrollable, to assert dominance. Stoicism channels your strength. Nietzsche unleashes it. Which fire burns in you, restraint or rebellion? And how do you sail when the winds defy you? Try this Stoic practice, the captain's log. Each morning journal for 5 minutes, listing 3 tasks. For each ask, is this mine to shape? Can I act today? Focus only on those, like editing a proposal, and release external worries like a boss's mood. Journal the freedom it brings. This isn't passivity, it's a warrior's clarity. As Brené Brown says, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot choose both. The control filter is your courage, steering you through chaos with unwavering focus. Now shift to Confucianism, where control lies in fulfilling social roles with propriety, prioritizing duties like team harmony over personal tasks. Stoicism's filter is solitary, centering on your virtue, even if it means defying others' expectations. Imagine Seneca and Confucius on a ship. One steers by his own moral compass, the other aligns with the crew's rhythm. Whose course calls you? And what's the cost when your control clashes with duty to others? Let's conjure a scene. You're a lighthouse keeper, your day a foggy coast. The control filter is your beacon, illuminating only what you can command, a task's effort, your response to critique, while letting the mist of others' actions fade. Compare this to existentialism, where Sartre burdens you with infinite freedom, making every choice, even the uncontrollable, a canvas for meaning. Stoicism lights your path, Sartre demands you paint the fog. Ask, do you steer by what's yours or create from the void? And can one light pierce both? Here's the hard truth, control is a discipline, not a birthright. It's choosing to ignore the client who won't respond and diving into what's yours, like polishing your work, even when every instinct screams to rage. The Stoics lived this discipline. Marcus Aurelius, amidst Rome's chaos, controlled his judgments, letting go of what lay beyond. Contrast this with Schopenhauer's pessimism, where control is a fleeting illusion against life's relentless will. Stoicism empowers your helm, Schopenhauer mourns the storm. Which lens sharpens your focus, agency or despair? And how do you steer when the seas turn savage? This is your charge. Tomorrow practice the Stoic anchor. Journal for 4 minutes, listing 2 tasks within your control, like organizing your desk or drafting an email. Ask, is this mine to command? Does it serve my purpose? Act on them, release all else, and journal the calm it brings. That's Stoicism, alive in your mastery. As Serena Williams says, you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. The control filter is that belief, making you captain of your destiny. What will you command today? The Stoics' Anvil, obstacle as teacher for resilient mastery. The obstacle as teacher is the Stoics' anvil, where life's blows are not endured but embraced, each strike forging a stronger, wiser self. It's not about denying setbacks but wielding them as tools for growth. As Marcus Aurelius declared, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. In the crucible of modern life, where plans shatter and failures sting, this means journaling to transform obstacles into mentors, extracting lessons that sharpen your virtue. But how do you learn from pain without being consumed by it? And what do other philosophies reveal about this transformative alchemy? Imagine a crushing moment. Your proposal is rejected and self-doubt creeps in. You open your journal and ask, what failed here? How can I grow? You realize your research lacked depth and commit to diving deeper next time. This is the obstacle as teacher, a sculptor's torch, melting setbacks into raw material for progress. As Denzel Washington says, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Stoic journaling is your hardship, forging resilience from every rejection. Now widen the lens. Compare Stoicism's lesson-driven approach to Taoism's Wu Wei, where obstacles are part of life's flow, not to be reshaped but accepted with ease. Stoicism hammers setbacks into virtues like perseverance. Taoism rides them like waves, finding harmony in surrender. One's a blacksmith, crafting strength, the other a surfer, gliding with the tide. So, what fuels your growth? Molding the challenge or flowing with it? And what breaks when you resist too fiercely? Or take General William T. Sherman, carving a path through Confederate lines, we must move forward or we are lost. The obstacle as teacher is that forward march, journaling a missed deadline to refine your time management, turning delay into discipline. Contrast this with existentialism, where Sartre's absurd universe casts obstacles as meaningless tests of your freedom to create purpose. Stoicism learns to build character, Sartre defies to define it. Which stance lifts you, construction or rebellion? And how do you rise when the obstacle feels pointless? Try this Stoic practice, the anvil's edge. After a setback, journal for 6 minutes. Ask, what lesson hides here? What's one step to advance? Write a specific action like studying a new skill, and note the clarity it sparks. This isn't surrender, it's a warrior's craft. As Angela Duckworth says, grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. The obstacle as teacher is your marathon, forging a tougher you with every blow. Now shift to Aristotelianism, where obstacles test your pursuit of the golden mean, balancing effort with wisdom. Stoicism's approach is sterner, demanding you extract virtue from every challenge, even at the cost of comfort. Imagine Seneca and Aristotle facing a failed project. One journals to hone resilience, the other seeks equilibrium, perhaps delegating to restore balance. Whose anvil shapes you? And what's the price when growth demands pain? Let's conjure a scene. You're a swordsmith, your day a molten blade. The obstacle as teacher is your hammer, striking flaws, a lost client, a botched task, to temper a sharper edge. Compare this to utilitarianism, where obstacles are judged by their impact on the greater good, like redirecting effort to team goals. Stoicism forges your soul's strength. Utilitarianism serves the collective's progress. Ask, do you shape setbacks for your virtue or the world's benefit? And can one blade cut for both? Here's the raw truth. Embracing obstacles isn't soft, it's brutal. It's choosing to see a failure not as a wound but as a whetstone, even when every instinct screams to quit. The Stoics thrived in this forge. Epictetus, once enslaved, turned every hardship into a lesson, finding freedom in perspective. Contrast this with hedonism, where setbacks are shunned, chasing pleasure's fleeting spark instead. Stoicism sharpens your steel, hedonism flees the fire. Which forge tempers you, discipline or delight? And how do you stand when the flames roar? This is your charge. Next time you face a hurdle, like a rejected idea, practice the Stoic crucible. Journal for 5 minutes asking, what can this teach me? What's my next move? Take one step like seeking feedback and journal the strength it builds. That's Stoicism alive in your transformation. As LeBron James says, you have to be able to accept failure to get better. The obstacle as teacher is your acceptance, crafting a wiser, stronger you from life's blows. What lesson will you forge next? The Stoics' constellation, purpose probe for unwavering direction. The purpose probe is the Stoic celestial map, a guide to navigating life's chaos by anchoring every action to your deepest why. It's not about chasing fleeting goals but aligning your soul with virtue, as Seneca urged. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. In the frenetic blur of modern life, where notifications swarm and priorities clash, this means journaling to unearth your core purpose, ensuring every choice shines with meaning. But how do you find your North Star when distractions cloud the sky? And what do other philosophies teach us about this quest for direction? Imagine a week spiraling into disorder. Meetings pile up and your focus frays. You sit with your journal and ask, why do I do this? To learn, to inspire, to build. This clarity slices through the noise, redirecting your energy to tasks that matter, like mentoring a colleague. This is the purpose probe, a sextant charting your course by the stars of virtue. As Beyoncé says, your success is defined by your own will. Stoic journaling is that will, aligning your life with a purpose that burns eternal. Now expand the cosmos. Compare Stoicism's inward search for purpose to Buddhism's pursuit of nirvana, where meaning dissolves the self to transcend suffering. Stoicism seeks a virtuous why to guide action. Buddhism releases all whys to find peace. One's a navigator plotting a starry path, the other a sage dissolving into the void. So, what fuels your direction, a personal mission or liberation from it? And what falters when your purpose feels too heavy? Or take General Dwight D. Eisenhower, orchestrating D-Day with singular intent. Leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. The purpose probe is that leadership, journaling to reaffirm your why, perhaps to create value, and choosing tasks like refining a project that reflect it. Contrast this with Nietzsche's eternal recurrence, where purpose is forged by embracing each moment as if it repeats forever, fueling bold creation over disciplined alignment. Stoicism steers by virtue's light, Nietzsche dances in its blaze. Which star guides you, duty or defiance? And how do you sail when the heavens shift? Try this Stoic practice, the celestial chart. Once a month, journal for 12 minutes. Ask, what's my deepest purpose? Are my actions true to it? List 3 ways to align closer, like cutting trivial tasks to focus on meaningful work. Journal the resolve it ignites. This isn't daydreaming, it's a captain's vow, as Denzel Washington says, dreams without goals remain dreams. The purpose probe is your goal, mapping a life of virtue with every reflection. Now shift to Aristotelianism, where purpose lies in eudaimonia, flourishing through balanced virtues. Stoicism's probe is sterner, demanding actions serve a singular, virtuous why, even if it's grueling. Imagine Seneca and Aristotle beneath the stars. One journals to align with relentless duty, the other seeks harmony, blending purpose with well-being. Whose constellation calls you? And what's the cost when purpose overshadows balance? Let's conjure a scene. You're an astronomer, your life a vast night sky. The purpose probe is your telescope, focusing on stars of meaning, growth, service, creation, to guide your days. Compare this to existentialism, where Sartre casts you as the universe's author, inventing purpose in a meaningless void. Stoicism charts by eternal virtues. Sartre paints with infinite freedom. Ask, do you follow a timeless why, or craft one from chaos? And can one telescope see both? Here's the fierce truth, purpose isn't a gift, it's a conquest. It's battling the urge to drift through life, choosing instead to define a why that withstands every storm. The Stoics lived this fight. Epictetus, once bound, found purpose in mastering his choices, turning servitude into sovereignty. Contrast this with hedonism, where purpose chases pleasure's fleeting rush, ignoring virtue's call. Stoicism anchors your stars, hedonism chases comets. Which purpose holds you, endurance or indulgence? And how do you shine when the night feels endless? This is your summons. This month, practice the Stoic beacon. Journal for 10 minutes asking, what's my why? Do my days honor it? Plan one action like prioritizing a passion project, and journal the clarity it brings. That's Stoicism, alive in your direction. As Serena Williams says, every champion was once a contender who refused to give up. The purpose probe is your contender's heart, making every choice a step toward a meaningful life. What star will you follow next? The Stoic's hourglass, mortality reminder for fierce vitality. The mortality reminder is the Stoic's ticking hourglass, a stark call to live with blazing intention by confronting life's fleeting nature. It's not about fearing death but wielding it as a lens to sharpen your focus. As Marcus Aurelius urged, do every act as if it were your last. In the relentless rush of modern life, where trivialities pile and time slips like sand. This means journaling to face your mortality, stripping away distractions to prioritize what truly endures. But how do you stare into the abyss without losing your spark? And what do other philosophies reveal about this bold embrace of the finite? Imagine a quiet evening, your journal open. You ask, if this were my final day, would my actions matter? You realize you've delayed chasing a dream, writing a book, and commit to starting tomorrow. This is the mortality reminder, a warrior's drumbeat, pulsing with urgency to live virtuously now. As Kobe Bryant said, there's a choice we have to make as people, to live or to exist. Stoic journaling is your choice to live, making every moment a testament to your soul's fire. Now broaden the scope. Compare Stoicism's memento mori to Hinduism's karma yoga, where actions are offered to the divine, detached from personal gain. Stoicism uses death to ignite purposeful action. Hinduism surrenders outcomes to transcend the self. One's a torch illuminating your path, the other a prayer rising above it. So, what drives your life? Urgency to act or release of ego? And what shifts when you cling too tightly to time? Or take General George S. Patton, whose relentless drive won battles. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. The mortality reminder is that violent execution, journaling to prioritize a meaningful task, like calling a loved one, over procrastination's lure because time won't wait. Contrast this with Nietzsche's eternal recurrence, where you live each moment as if it loops forever, embracing its weight, not fleeing its end. Stoicism sharpens your now, Nietzsche immortalizes it. Which pulse quickens you, finitude or forever? And how do you act when the clock ticks loud? Try this Stoic practice, the sands of time. Weekly journal for 6 minutes. Ask, if today were my last, what would I do? What's stopping me? Plan one action like tackling a neglected goal, and journal the clarity it brings. This isn't grim, it's a rebellion against wasting life. As Denzel Washington says, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. The mortality reminder is your defiance, ensuring every grain of sand counts. Now shift to Confucianism, where life's meaning lies in fulfilling social roles, even beyond death, through legacy. Stoicism's reminder is solitary, urging you to act virtuously for your soul's sake, no matter who watches. Imagine Seneca and Confucius facing dusk. One journals to live true to himself, the other to honor his place in society. Whose hourglass guides you? And what's the cost when your now neglects eternity? Let's conjure a scene. You're a sailor, your life a fleeting voyage. The mortality reminder is your astrolabe, fixing on stars of purpose. Love, creation, courage, to navigate before the night falls. Compare this to existentialism, where Sartre casts life as an absurd stage, urging you to invent meaning without a script. Stoicism anchors your course by virtue. Sartre demands you write the play. Ask, do you sail by a timeless truth or craft your own? And can one starlight steer both? Here's the brutal truth. Facing mortality isn't weakness, it's courage. It's choosing to live fiercely, knowing each day could be your last, refusing to squander it on the trivial. The Stoics mastered this. Epictetus, once enslaved, used death's shadow to choose freedom in every action. Contrast this with hedonism, where life chases pleasure's fleeting highs, ignoring the ticking clock. Stoicism carves your legacy, hedonism dances till dawn. Which fire burns in you, purpose or indulgence? And how do you live when the sand runs low? This is your charge. This week, practice the Stoic flame. Journal for 5 minutes asking, if my time ended now, what would I regret? What can I do today? Take one step like starting a passion project and journal the vitality it sparks. That's Stoicism, alive in your urgency. As Serena Williams says, you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. The mortality reminder is that belief, making every day a masterpiece. What will you create before the hourglass empties? Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom, it's your weapon to conquer chaos and craft a life of unshakable purpose. These 8 journaling practices, from the evening review to the mortality reminder, are your forge, shaping every day into a masterpiece of virtue. Don't let another moment slip. Grab your journal tonight and start reflecting, acting, and growing like the Stoics did. Your future self is waiting. Smash that like button if you're ready to transform, subscribe to join our tribe of relentless warriors, and hit the bell so you never miss a spark of Stoic wisdom. Share your favorite practice in the comments. We're in this together. Let's keep forging greatness one day at a time.